And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we doing this Monday? What have you been up to? Why have you been doing it? What did you do this weekend? Did you waste time spending all weekend playing a single game that you've been waiting for like, I don't know, it's been a few years now. I spent the weekend playing basically nothing but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I couldn't be happier for it. It's really fun. It's basically Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but more of it, and that is ideal. But yeah, other than that, I don't think I did anything. Mrs. Six sat and watched me play a significant portion of it, and at this moment, considering it was released on Tuesday, and I started playing it properly on the Friday night, for an hour, I have put 26 hours into it over a weekend. I'm a real gamer, boys. Yeah. So, my time is well spent. I don't know about yours. And on gaming, Mrs. Sick has been doing her game streaming. She's been keeping it up. And I stopped promoting it on just after last Monday's stream. And people still turning up at like a decent number. Not amazing numbers. Like, it goes between sort of 5 and I think the highest I've seen is 17. But right now we're still sort of keeping it mostly under wraps just so she can get good. But yeah, thanks to everyone who turns up. It's a good time. Anyway, yeah. What's going on? Marshmallows. I mean, that's an important thing to say. I don't know where the marshmallows came from. What am I playing? Or what is she playing? Because she's playing Dark Souls. She just got past Ornstein and Smo.
Yeah, with help, though.
With a little help from some amazing person who is just awesome at video games. Don't know who. But to be fair, it's Dark Souls, and she's come to it a bit late, so she doesn't get to do the fucking... Summoning is basically impossible now. Mrs. Sick is so hardcore. She is hardcore.
No. Yeah, I find it very frustrating, but I want to commit to it.
I think she's getting pretty damn good at it. She's very good at making people fall off things, which is hilarious to watch.
They're not people.
They're not people.
They're monsters, a lot of them.
They don't deserve not gravity. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And who be you? Are you a happy little fox, I assume? Yeah.
I'm a sentient cabbage.
Ever played the OG Zelda ROM hacks? Those are awesome to watch. Not OG Zelda ROM hacks. I've watched a lot of Kaizo Mario. Those are some fucking things. I don't think I would ever even attempt to get good at them. But watching someone who's really good at them is really fun. And I can't imagine doesn't drive them completely batshit insane.
Mrs. Sick, is it true that Sir Sick is handsome, famous, and other sex? Yes.
Yes, all of those things. Perseverance in the face of adversity is hardcore. Don't sell yourself short. You've been told. You are now officially hardcore. We'll call you Mrs. Hardcore Sick. So hardcore will be your middle name somehow. And your first name is Mrs., which is just very confusing. But that's how we get away with... But if she's Mrs. Sick and you're Sir Sick, how are you not married? It's because my first name is Sir. Six back, me no longer whiskey piss. I mean...
1 stream a day keeps the depression away, if you say so, Connie.
So, I feel like the implication of that, because this only happens once a week, is kind of horrifying. Mrs. Sick does hardcore gaming, which is so much sexier than what you're alluding to. Sentient cabbage is the main ingredient in smart coleslaw. Is it as bad as normal coleslaw? Because
coleslaw is gross.
Like me and Mrs. Sick, there's lots of things that I enjoy that she's not so keen on. Mostly there's things that she enjoys and I enjoy just as much. There's not actually a lot that you enjoy that I won't also eat.
Mushy peas.
Well, yeah, you won't eat mushy peas.
No,
I
gross.
will eat mushy peas. I'll eat basically fucking anything. And she's quite picky.
You like mushrooms.
I like mushrooms.
Mushrooms are gross.
I like mushy peas.
Oh, tomatoes.
You won't eat tomatoes?
We both don't like tomatoes.
I'm okay with tomatoes.
No, they're gross.
I don't like it when people cut them in half and then cook them in a frying pan as part of a breakfast. I think that's fucking gross.
They're all gross.
I like baby tomatoes. I enjoy those. Here is some money. After last week's visit to England, I know this will buy you about a quarter of a pint in a pub in Blackburn or Ipswich once YouTube is paid. That is not far from wrong. Any fucking city. Oh my god.
Cities are so expensive for like drinks and stuff.
Damn, what did I miss? I tried to put my earphone in and instead just threw it under the desk.
You call Mrs. Sick Venus after the vagina planet? No, that's Jupiter.
Yeah, Jupagina. Duh. Why are earpod cases so hard to get the earpod out? This is an ongoing problem. Maybe you need to get like a special, like a neck. You know, like dogs have when they need to stop from chewing on their bits. You need that, but for when you're putting your earbuds on. So as you take it out of the case, it's like dangling above your head. And then when you drop it, which seems to be inevitable, it will just sort of go around your chin. And then at least you'll know where it is. I don't think you'll be able to get at it anymore. But it won't be under your desk. I find that a win. So buy yourself one of those. Get yourself a dog cone, then everything's easier. You won't spill any whiskey anywhere.
Do you enjoy Marmite? Hell no.
I like Marmite. She does not. I don't love Marmite. That whole thing about you either love it or you hate it. Like, if I'm having Marmite, it's like the thinnest possible amount. Like Marmite on toast, less is more. And then it's really nice. But a thick Marmite is fucking vile. It's a very, very strong flavor. Like, I'm a really big fan of mayonnaise. I absolutely fucking love mayonnaise. It's a problem. But if you gave me a spoonful, I'd flick it at you. Because that's gross. I am not eating like a fucking heaped teaspoon of goddamn mayonnaise. Unless it's already on a chip. Then I might. Pineapple on pizza is a crime against humanity. Now, I wouldn't say it's not something I would never eat, but I wouldn't choose to eat pineapple on pizza. It's not something that is, like, enjoyable to me. But Mrs. Sick will eat that. One of her favourite pizzas is, like, barbecue sauce, pineapple, jalapenos, and chicken.
And peppers and onions.
I said jalapeno. Oh, you mean normal peppers? Yeah. Peppers and... Yeah, it's got a lot of shit on it. I'm not a huge fan of that pizza. It's a bit much. I
can taste it.
To be fair, she made a curry for me and herself, and I found that quite difficult to eat. I had to go and get some cheese in order to take out... It was a very, let's say, complex flavor. It was the first time I've ever been overwhelmed by food, and she thought it was great, and I was like, it's a bit much.
Have you tried?
Then she tried the cheese with it and said it was better.
Have you tried fries with ketchup, mayo mix? Our kids do that.
Yeah. Mayonnaise is just the superior condiment, so no.
I prefer ketchup to mayonnaise. I don't mind mayonnaise, but I don't like a lot of it.
Mayo by itself is nasty. I mean, yeah. Mayo is something to be mixed into other things or used as a dip. But yeah, I mean, most things. I wouldn't eat a spoonful of ketchup either. I can eat ketchup. I like ketchup, but most things. I'm addicted to Sir Six mayo. Please send more. Jesus Christ. I'm only one man. I can do only so much. My girlfriend makes beer from her fanny yeast. It's not very nice, but she enjoys me drinking it. That is something. I don't know if that's a joke or if you are into shit that I am not. But I definitely wouldn't drink fanny yeast beer.
I prefer my food not to come from my spouse.
Yes. I don't think there's much that food-wise you could create from my leavings.
Leavings?
I couldn't think what else to call it. Just a cum puddle is technically a leaving. One of the best pizzas I've ever had was chicken and jalapenos with barbecue sauce. That actually sounds pretty lit. My little brother loves steak with condensed milk. What? Why? Why is that even a thing? What? I mean, I was going to say I can't believe how food this stream has already got, but I have technically quoted "I'm quite hungry," but turned it into "I'm quite dumbgry." So I don't know if anybody even got that. But food it is today, I guess. When I was a kid, I would dip dill pickles into mayonnaise. Now, as an adult, I make a sandwich. What, out of the same thing, or is it just a different sandwich entirely?
I do like pickles though.
Mayo, ketchup, and prawns. Well, you're basically making like baby's first Thousand Island sauce without the fucking bits of herb that are in it. So that, yeah, Thousand Island sauce and prawns is nice. There was a video online of a woman making bread from her yeast infection, and she ate it. Pleasant. I make a point of not eating anything that looks like it's been through a digestive system. That's fair. I also never drink anything that looks like washing up liquid. So basically, don't drink fucking, oh shit, I can't think what it's called. It's the French one. It's really strong.
Absinthe?
There you go. It's generally not the best idea. You might think you're having fun, but you won't be the next day.
I don't think I've ever had absinthe.
There's an entire cookbook based around leavings. Sorry I'm late. What have I missed? Nothing. I wouldn't even worry about it. Potato and pierogi pizza is incredible. I'm not 100% sure what pierogi is. I thought pierogi was a beer. But I could be thinking of something completely different. It also kind of sounds like a salami. Don't pickles plus milk make you fart?
A lot of things make you fart.
That's very true. A lot of things make me fart like crazy. How do we feel about sweet corn on pizza? I wouldn't choose it, but I can't see any problem.
That's another one of the things that I have on the pizza.
Ah, okay. Wife has just made banana and chocolate cake. That sounds fucking amazing, I'll be honest. Mrs. Sick has been known to make a chocolate chip banana bread, and it is phenomenal. Creme de menthe. I mean, you probably shouldn't drink it, but that's mostly because why are you drinking creme de menthe? Who are you? Midori is really nice. I don't know what Midori is either.
Sounds like Midoriya.
Oh, as in from fucking My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Young Midori. It makes the heart grow stronger. Absinthe, that is. I have a funny feeling that if you had enough of it, it would make it stop. I knew someone who mistook washing up liquid for cooking oil and fried some eggs in it. How? How is that even? Were they very drunk? Oof. You'd have to be absolutely out of your fucking mind. Avocado on pizza is gross. No. You've added too many words to that. Avocado is gross.
Does Mrs. Sick care for veggie pizzas? To be honest, I probably would. Like, the pizza I really like has chicken on it, but it doesn't need it.
No, you'd probably enjoy it without the chicken.
Yeah. I'm just not
it has all the other things.
I'm just not a fan of lots of cheese.
I fucking love cheese.
I can have cheese very occasionally, and but having cheese like in huge doses all the time would drive me mad. So I am not a connoisseur of pizza. I have it very rarely.
Can you change the subject and advertise Mrs. Six's new channel, Egypt Allowed? I mean, that is technically...
Is that what it's called now?
To be fair, I just realised I'm a subscriber to the Humble Bundle, and the Total War Egypt game is in this month's thing, so she might play that at some point and give lots and lots of Egypt tidbits, and also criticise everything they get wrong, which I don't know, but they almost never seem to get everything right in any piece of media that has Egypt in it, so yeah.
Some are okay. Others are...
Is anything perfect?
No.
No.
But there's other ones, like there was Gods of Egypt. It had Gerald Butler in it.
Sirsic needs to
And
try a bacon.
That was horrendous.
Needs to try a bacon brie and cranberry baguette. Incredible. I have had bacon brie and cranberry. I don't know if it was. I think it was a fucking. Had cheese in it as well. It was a panini. And yes, very, very tasty. Cooking with the 6 channel. I mean, it'll just be people. Just be a big bowl of people being cooked. It'll be hilarious, but it won't be very educational. Pesto, garlic, and potato pizza. Surprisingly yummy. I could see that. This makes me want potatoes now, and we've run out of chips, unfortunately. Sirsick's cheesy feet. Come, game on. Are you saying feet or trying to say feast? Very hard to tell. Most of the time my feet aren't cheesy, but that's mostly because I don't go outside, so I'm not wearing my shoes. They can be very stinky. Midori is an extremely overpowering melon-flavored liqueur. Think peach schnapps. Yeah, well, I'm not a huge fan of peach schnapps. It's a bit overwhelming as a flavor.
I've never tried it.
I really don't like fucking Southern Comfort. I think Southern Comfort's fucking gross. For a long time I thought I couldn't drink Jim Beam because I thought it was the same as Southern Comfort because they have this version. I think the black one, but I could be wrong. But one of them tastes like Southern Comfort, and I'm like, oh, so this is garbage. Turns out just the wrong color. Curly fries or straight fries? Generally straight and preferably fluffy on the inside. Fry bacon, sprinkle with cheese, microwave in a panini. That sounds pretty good. I wouldn't microwave it in a panini though. You put it in a panini. Like you get a panini maker and you make a fucking panini. Don't be microwaving your paninis. Are you buying those they have the little lines on them, but they're not really paninis because they're just bread rolls with little lines on them. Don't do that. Get a panini maker. This is coming from someone who doesn't have a panini maker, but I've worked in several pubs, so there's usually a panini maker on hand, and you just do that. The most disgusting dish I've ever eaten was goat cooked whole in a hole in the ground. Traditional dish. I imagine. I think a lot of very, very traditional dishes are quite specific, and unless you've grown up with them and have the sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Just the childhood memories of eating it. I can't imagine it actually being good. Like I can eat haggis, but I ate haggis as a kid. If you offered it to me as an adult, I'd probably be like, this is like it tastes weird enough. If you don't like avocado, do you like guacamole? No, I fucking hate guacamole. Not a fan.
I like avocado and guacamole.
She would. So there you go. There's something that I don't like that she does.
It doesn't really have much flavour to it, but the texture... Well, guacamole has a lot of flavour to it because they have chili to it. But the avocados don't really have a lot of flavour.
People are going to be like, avocados don't have flavour. What the fuck is wrong with you?
The texture's nice, though. It's very buttery.
This will be people learning that Mrs. Sick doesn't have taste buds. Is that a fireplace clicking? No, that's Mrs. Sick and or me. I'm playing with a knife and she's playing with a pen. So we should probably both put those things down.
It's fidget toys.
We both have functional fidget toys on the desk. I have a jury rig everything knife in the metal edition, and it makes this noise when I straighten it out. And I really like it. It's very satisfying, but I shouldn't play with it. I also have.
I've been putting the pen under the desk so it's not as loud.
This is a pen with a bolt action, and very fun to play with. But I really should allow my hands to not do anything. So yeah, sorry about that. We're both fucking terrible for it. I had to put I have a fidget spinner thing as well. And when I was playing with that, it drove chat completely fucking crazy. So I put that somewhere else. We call that a potlatch, but it might be coyote, rabbit, deer, cow, just a whole parted animal cooked in a pot in the ground. I guess that is actual Canadian cuisine. Well, I think cooking an animal in the ground is just an efficient way to do that. And especially like in olden times, people would do it because you're not losing any heat to the atmosphere. So you could probably cook it either very quickly or with less fuel. That would be my guess. I don't know. I could be completely fucking wrong about that. But yeah. And then because people used to do it, then it's just a traditional dish. It's like some of the stupid fucking things. Like there's things that are considered traditional English food. This is a lot of where all food in England is fucking terrible comes from. Is because people still eat war foods and they consider them great for whatever reason, but a lot of them are garbage because they're war food. People who eat fucking tripe still blow my goddamn mind. It's like, you know, you don't have to eat tripe, right? Ugh. And if you don't know what tripe is, don't look it up. It's fucking gross. Tism family.
Tism family.
Well, ADHD on this side and more likely tism on the other. Mrs. Sick, what news on the next spoon stuff? So many questions. Who is Blossom really? Love the channel. Anxious for more. Well, if you want to know more, wait. Sorry, but
eventually I'll get round to it.
Yeah. She's doing the streaming at the moment because winter is just not time for normal work. And at the end of the day, Spoon Staff Stories is ultimately like a side project. It's something she does for fun. And but it is still quite a lot of work. So she wants to be able to do something else. That's a big part of why the streaming is happening. Is she's trying to make that sort of a job. So then when she goes to do Spoon Staff, it's a relief to do Spoon Staff instead of feeling like quite an overwhelming, because it's a big project. When you're animating something that's like 20 minutes long and every single scene there's constantly stuff moving and going on, that takes for fucking ever. Like obviously the quote unquote animation of Sir Sick is very simple, and that still takes me all fucking day. So yeah, when I'm editing a video, that can take like 12 goddamn hours, and even though they're quite long, like most of it isn't animation. Most of it is the very simple moving him around stuff that's not quite as hard. If I did nothing but actual animated bits, my videos would take me weeks. Canada doesn't actually have a culture. We just politely imitate everyone else, mostly because everyone that is here is from somewhere else. I'm white and my brother is Cree. That says it all. Fair enough. I thought your culture was just being polite. That's the culture.
That is basically Canada, isn't it?
Being very polite and then playing the most violent sport as your main one, which is odd.
That's how they get the rage out of you.
I think it's kind of like a what's that fucking film called where everybody like kills each other for one day? Purge. Ice hockey is Canada's Purge. That's all I can think. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. As the joke goes, American, why do the British eat like it's still the war? Brit, why do Americans eat like healthcare is free? Oof. That's pretty savage. Can we stop talking about food, as the smell, let alone the taste, is disgusting to me? Alcohol contains enough food to keep me awake. Fair enough. Are you one of those people that just doesn't like food? I mean, to be fair, have you tried all the foods? There might be a food you really like. That kind of reminds me of, like, is anyone in the chat who doesn't like music? And if so, I would be very interested to find out why. Will you ever co-op with Cats again? Well, I know he changed channels, and I don't know. I haven't spoken to him in absolutely ages, so yeah, I have no idea. I highly recommend Indian food. Indian food is nice. Especially proper stuff. Oh my god. It can be fucking amazing. And blow your goddamn head off.
I like Indian food because I can actually taste it.
Yeah, we've got a local curry place it does delivery, which isn't as good, but if you go in, it's got like a restaurant, and the fresh stuff is that's like really tasty. I took Mrs. Sick just for like a lunch for no reason. And she was just sat there going, oh my gosh, oh god.
Yeah, my eyes kept rolling every time I ate something.
It's like smells anything and she's fucking drooling. I've never actually, it occurs to me that no one else I know drools like Mrs. Sick does when she smells something. No, you can say jalapenos to her.
Yeah, that made me drool.
And not always, but if she's even a little bit hungry, yeah, she'll be like, oh, just wiping up. Tiger stew made of actual tigers or
stripes on it. Yeah.
I work in Leicester. Best Indian food in the country. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to test. I missed almost half. Drat. I mean, half of terrible content is still.
We're still talking
content.
about the same thing we were talking about half an hour ago. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, food is one of those topics that we can both talk endlessly on. Thai cuisine is amazeballs. Mrs. Sick is a fan of various Thai dishes. We'd like to find a place nearby that does like good Thai food, but there kind of isn't any. Not like really close. Certainly not within delivering distance. I think there's some places like we're relatively close to Leeds, and there's some places there. But it's also going to be fucking expensive as shit.
So does he call Little Sick jalapeno?
What, so she'll stick it in her mouth? Whilst drooling. But then she'd bite it off, so no, God no. Also, sex and spicy foods? No. No, don't do that. Having stuff on your hands whilst pleasuring each other leads to less pleasure and more, ow, what the fuck did you just do to me? I recently tried a lamb vindaloo and it was really hot. Not as hot as I expected though. Okay.
Korean food is good and spicy. The problem with Korean food is they like fermented stuff a lot. Particularly, I've noticed this kimchi, and I can't stand cabbage anyway. It really hurts my stomach when I eat it. So the idea of eating fermented cabbage is just nope.
Please talk about Egyptian food. Egyptians ate food. The end.
I'm sure that there's plenty of stuff in Korea that is not specifically cabbage, but a lot of the easy recipes that I find tend to involve it.
Only sweets for bedroom shenanigans. Yes, but make sure it's nothing that spreads easily, especially if it's made of chocolate, especially if you're in a hotel, because you really don't want to be explaining to the staff why there's a great big brown stain on the bed. No, it's just chocolate. Look, and you reach for it to taste it, and they're like, no, we believe you, honestly. I mean, to be fair, you'd notice the smell as soon as you walked in. And if you already smell of shit enough, then maybe you're probably not going to get laid with chocolate. I got XXX hot Mayan sauce for the Super Bowl. Made for spicy, sexy times. I can fucking imagine. And what do you do sexy times because Super Bowl? Because even if I was into sport, I think that's the last thing that I'd be thinking about. And I don't like sport. Alan Partridge reference. I was 100% thinking of that Alan Partridge scene when I was talking about that. Rubber sheets. Someone was a bedwetter. After 2 hours, you couldn't tell what was chocolate and what was poo. Oh my god. That's fucking horrendous. Kind of love it. Anyone else think of that scene from Caddyshack? I've never actually seen Caddyshack. I've only ever heard a tiny amount of the straight to book version of it as a Family Guy joke, which is terrible. Worldly advice: don't mistake Vicks for Vaseline. I can imagine that. Actually, there's, I can't remember the name of it, but there's this mint body wash that is very strongly mint. First time I ever used it and got some on my balls, I fucking knew about it. Now it's fine. Apparently my balls got used to it. I don't know. Either that or it's weaker than it used to be, which is not beyond question. Some kind of dirty protest. Yes, that is the Alan Partridge reference that we all love. I heard Egyptians were among the first to make popcorn, but wasn't corn a New World crop?
They didn't make popcorn. They didn't have corn.
Because it was a New World crop.
They had emmer wheat, barley, rye, I think. But they didn't have corn. Unless it was something that was like corn, but not exactly like corn. But no, it wasn't. Definitely not popcorn.
Don't mistake hand soap for lube. Don't do it. Ring sting is not worth the price of admission. I can also imagine. I mean, I think the moral of the story today is don't mistake anything that is not lube for lube. Also, make sure that the lube is for human use and not... Like, a lot of mechanical lubes are also incredibly acidic, if I remember rightly. That can be a less than good time for you humans. It's like it can do you a lot of damage. So yeah, just make sure the lube you're getting is lube. Also, we discovered this. If you find that lube causes you to tingle/burn, and it is real lube, you're probably allergic to glycerin.
Glycol,
sorry.
Glycerin or glycol? I can't remember.
Something that, yeah. You'll have to get like what's it now? No, like hypoallergenic lube.
Birthing lube. Slip it right out.
Horse birthing lube. Jesus Christ! I hadn't even considered that sentence existed. Sick. Who is a bigger influence, Alan Partridge or Dave Lister? Yes. Also, water is not a lube. Water is a terrible lube. Water will dry the fuck out of things really fast. Uranium lube. Why would you need to lube your uranium? Is your uranium not slippery enough? Wash hands after handling jalapenos and consider not giving sexy oil massages to your loved one that day. I would agree. Also, make sure you don't just poke yourself in the eye with a hand covered in various hot spices. That'll really upset you. Haven't managed to do that one myself. Watched someone in slow motion because I knew what they were about to do. And I was like, oh shit. As they slowly put their finger into their eye after having dipped their finger into like a super hot sauce to like taste test it. This was in a kitchen. And it's like, oh yeah, that's okay. And then it just, I'm going to rub my eye now. God. And then as when it was over, I was like, and they went, well, that was a fucking mistake. A very, very funny moment. Used motor oil with metal shavings lube. That sounds like a brilliant idea. Try it. Get back to us. Please note that this is not financial advice. I just spit on my hand.
Nature's lube.
Nature's lube. And also nature's sex partner is the hand. Let's see, that would have some effect. I think used motor oil with metal shavings, it would definitely, let's say, enhance the experience. But enhance and improve are not the same word. Hello, Alexandria. How are you doing? Hi to you. From food to sex, nice pipeline. As long as you're keeping your hands clean of irritants, it can be an excellent pipeline. I mean, making food for people, very sexy. Like for young guys, learn to cook one dish really well, and you won't have any problem getting between the sheets if that's your plan.
I don't know what you mean.
Just if you can cook I can cook lots of things well, so it wasn't hard to get into bed with you.
That's not the reason.
Oh, it's because of my enormous personality.
Yeah, that's part of it. But also the fact that you're incredibly sweet and you actually, you put up with me. That helps.
2 of my friends used tiger balm down there to increase the
God.
experience. Not recommended. That'd be like using icy hot. Or deep heat, as it's known here. Actually, didn't you randomly became allergic to deep heat? We used to use it.
I used to use deep heat, and then
all the time to like help with her back
apparently
problems.
I'm allergic to it now.
And we're like, oh, my back really hurts today. Can you put the deep heat on? Went off, came in, and then her whole back just fucking flared up. I think you like got blisters.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Because her body fucking hates it.
My body just, it randomly gets allergic to things all the time. It's thing is, if I try it now, I probably am not allergic to it. It just decides randomly what to be allergic to. It's annoying.
Does pot noodle count? So, I can't imagine a situation where you are so good at cooking pot noodle that it will make your partner immediately want to bone you.
No, what you do is you trick it, right, and you put it in a bowl and then add a tiny bit of garnish. And people think you made it then.
Yeah, a little herb on top of anything. 10 times the price.
I'm giving you tips and hints now.
The hand beats a date. You don't have to sit and listen to a whole lot of chatter paying for expensive food before you get some. Why don't you just date more interesting people? That's always... Don't date dullards. Like, whatever gender you are, if you find it someone completely intolerable to spend time with, stop. I have 4 daughters and ran out of room in my backyard long ago. I've had to get creative. Oh, what, for killing people to bury? I don't know how to help you. I mean, first, I do.
Looks blenders. Like you're going to have to buy a plot of land. Yeah, just for the family graveyard, in quotes.
I can cook a lot of Italian food and various other stuff. Now I only need the courage to be in public. Fair enough. Mrs. used to smoke weed after we made love. Using lube put an end to that. What, on the weed? Just pour it in. This is fucking terrible weed now. Never ever vapor rub. Yeah, 100%. Smoking while covered in oil-based lube does sound like a bad idea.
Yeah.
I hadn't considered that.
That's how you get the wick effect.
That's how to turn into a human candle. I cooked a soup once that made a lady ask me to marry her. And did you? Or did you go, no, and then you left? This is my soup. You don't get to have it. Pot noodle lube. I mean, that's one way to do it. Is your lube flammable? I guess it depends what you add to it. I mean, the car oil and metal shavings are definitely going to do something. Everything tastes 100% more better if you cook it on a stove or oven compared to the microwave.
Yes.
I mean, yes. That's why the preferred cooking method of most things is
I'm
that.
not a big fan of microwave food.
Also, like, out of a tin, fresh is better. Fresh and fresh cooked is always better. From food to sex, spontaneous human combustion. That is what I came here from. I mean, I can't say that I've never seen a lot of smoke during sex. What do they say? I don't like condoms because I found the smell of burning rubber offensive, which is a pretty good one. Microwave lube. Now, are we saying that the lube is for microwaves? Are we saying that the lube is from microwaves? Or are we saying get some lube and put it in the microwave? I don't think any of those are a good idea. Was she in the soup pot at the time, with the only way out of the soup being marriage? Because that worked for me. If you don't marry me, I am going to cook you alive. That might be a bit of a threat. Not sure if that would be legally binding. Spontaneous conception. I prefer the idea of spontaneous contraception. Oh no, a condom appeared on my penis. What a shame. Using metal is probably better than getting drunk and using your puke as lube. Jesus Christ. I feel like I'd stop. If you start and someone pukes, that is a fucking mood killer. Not gonna lie. That is not the best moment. It was lentil, but we were students, and I think she was hungry. So it wasn't even good soup. It was just lentil soup, which is never good soup. Like, fight me on it. Not a big fan of lentils. It's a blood pack. We both have to cut our hands at the same blade and hold hands. I mean, a pact. A blood pack is like a... I was going to say a box. Like a bag of blood. Sounds experimental. Emphasis on the mental. I mean, if you get experimental enough, it's going to go that way. It reminds me of one of my favourite sayings, which is, everything's a dildo if you're brave enough. An egg in the micro is always fun. If you have the right things for it, there's little fucking microwave egg cookers that you can get. Those are actually pretty okay.
Does the helmet and armor stay on during sex? Obviously.
Yeah. You've got to wear protection.
Like, if he doesn't wear it, it's just like a eldritch black hole inside, so...
Also, you know, what if the peasants start revolting during coitus? You've got to be ready. Could be a byproduct of foreplay. What could? What? I feel like I've missed a step there. I went to a chemist the other day to buy condoms. The woman said they sold out. Had I tried boots, didn't think they'd fit. I like that. I like that joke a lot.
Clanking noises. Ambience.
I mean, with the right rhythm, clank, 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 very sexy. Lentil is yummy. I mean, you're allowed to be wrong. You know, you're allowed. I'm in a committed relationship with Pamela Henderson. That is really hard to say. God damn. I think that's a joke that works better written down.
Pamela Henderson. That's not difficult to say.
Pamela
Henderson. Henderson.
Say palm.
Palm.
She says it wrong.
How do you say it?
Palm. Not Pam.
Pom.
Not Pom. This is like 90... I think this is why me and Mrs. Sick don't actually have real arguments, because we spend so much time criticizing each other's diction. That we either criticize it or we find it really endearing. She likes the way I say castle.
Yeah.
And I like the way she says it's beautiful.
Beautiful?
When you say, "In that wonder."
What?
I'm making a joke about you being quiet.
I'm not.
But it's just a joke.
I'm not quiet. You're loud.
Exactly. What if a killer rabbit attacked? Then we'd be in the Holy Grail, and I'd get the holy hand grenade out of my nutsack. Peasants are revolting. Duh, they're peasants. The peasants are always revolting. Black hole, come. Sorry, son, won't you come? Spelling. Straight on my tits. I don't think they meant helmet on your head when they said use protection. I was wearing my armor. I don't know about the anatomy of eldritch horrors, mate. Well, then you need to fucking study up. It's an important thing, and there will be a test at the end of this stream. The test will be, will you be able to move on with your life and just live knowing that this stream happened? It was terrible. It was awful. And yet you allowed it to happen. And that's on you. It's just I don't think you'll be able to go on. But then again, you'll turn up to Mrs. Six stream. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. You go to a good one. She needs a nickname. Is that supposed to be a pun, or did you just not spell it right? I don't know. Is nickname spelled N-I-C-K or N-I-C? I don't actually know. I've never seen that written down.
Nick, as in like the name for a man, Nick.
No, not the name nickname. If someone has a nickname, how is that spelled?
What? You mean like your nickname?
Whatever nickname. If you have
you
a
mean
nickname,
do you mean the
how
word?
do you spell the phrase nickname?
Do you mean the word nickname?
Yes.
You spell it like the male name Nick, and then name.
Okay, see, I was right. And did you check?
No, I just know how to spell it.
If it turns out to be N-I-C, you're gonna. I had one thing where I knew how to spell a word that Mrs. Sick didn't, and I was like,
yeah, like Nick Cage. Thank you.
Does alcohol help more than the wife's lips? What? In what regard?
What?
You'll have to be more specific than that. Alcohol makes me drunk more than her lips. Alcohol does other things less. Prick name. Fair enough. That's how to do it. I'm drinking rum today. I know, the betrayal. What, of you not drinking the thing that I like to drink?
That's sea whiskey, anyway.
Yeah. Although I do like sea whiskey. So you drinking anything that I could have had is a bit offensive. To be fair, today I'm drinking cider, so, you know. Take from that what you will. Mostly betrayal. People will leave the stream in droves.
Guess what I'm drinking?
Nothing.
Water.
Ah, lame. You do have Baileys with Baileys cream to put on top of the Baileys. Which works surprisingly well and is really nice.
I might have one of those.
Nickname. Name Nick. I can smell burnt toast. If you give Nick a nickname, what is Nick's nickname name?
Well, it depends on what his nickname is.
If you nick Nick's nickname...
Oh, for God's sake.
As a wise man once said, reality is often disappointing. I mean, that's very true. As a wise man also once said, where the fuck am I? Who are you people? Get out of my house. He was very drunk that day. Can't drink whiskey tonight. Got work in the morning. I have work in the morning. That doesn't stop me drinking. What's wrong with you? Don't be so soft. Unless you have to drive. I am like a fucking huge stickler on that. No reason to get drunk. To get drunk, especially to the point where you are still drunk the next day. It annoys the piss out of me. It's like, you're still drunk. You're still probably over the limit. You might feel relatively okay, but it's such a fucking bad idea. Plan your drinking accordingly. You do it on a Saturday night, and you suffer through the Sunday, and hopefully it's all out of your system by the time you have to like actually drive anywhere. I don't think there's any excuse for it. I don't drive, so I can drink whenever the fuck I want. And that's my choice, baby. Bailey's cream or Sir Six cream answers on a postcard. It is not my cream. She would not drink that. It would be fucking gross.
Oh, God. Just imagine you pour me a drink of Bailey's and there's that in it.
I'd do it in front of you, obviously. I wouldn't want you to have any... I wouldn't want to come out and you go, what the fuck's that? No uncertain terms. It'd be like, you like this? You'd be like, no. Are you sure?
Damn it.
Well, it's happening. It's like, can you have that one and get me a different one? Why would I drink that? It's disgusting. Yes. I
am totally switching drinks when you're not in the room.
I'm not going to come into your drink and pour your own drink.
I usually do.
Yeah, good. Otherwise someone might come in. What if Nick's name was nickname? Then you would nickname nickname. Now I definitely smell burnt toast.
Now I need to know somebody called Nick.
We need to find someone with a second name of name, and then we need to find a Nicholas, and we need to have them do the thing where it's like, oh, I'm taking her name. This is going to take a lot of effort, but it would be totally worth it to know a nickname. I miss being able to get drunk and play football the next day. Now I need a week to recover. I am nowhere near that bad. But unless I get completely fucking rat-arsed. But that's still just a day. What I mostly take a long time to recover from is like if I go out. If I go out and like wander places, especially with people who like to walk places, the fucking psychopaths that they are. Oh my god, I'm in so much pain for so many days afterwards. And don't get me started if we go to a metal club.
Oh look, we found a Nicholas.
We found a Nicholas. Is he called Nicholas name?
Hammer, apparently.
Nick Hammer.
That is such a like.
That's a really good name.
That is a badass hero name. That is.
To be fair, Hammer is just one of the greats when it comes to second name. Now all you need to do is wait for the next Hitler to be Hammer, and you're fucked.
This is where you take your sunglasses off and say it's hammer time, and then there's a yeah noise from like CSI.
I'm just saying, like, if it's a really terrible person with the second name of Hammer, and they still do the it's hammer time thing when they then murder a bunch of children.
Oh my god.
Not gonna lie, would still be kind of awesome. Detective name. Very good. She was Nicola, now Nicola. What? Okay. I have my brother-in-law stag do in Berlin in August. That's going to get messy. I will need to hide away for a few days to recover from that. I'll be honest. I think your best bet, like when I went on a stag do relatively recently, I didn't drink as much as I would. I didn't drink as much as I would if I was sat at home on my fucking own. I was quite controlled. I was told that I was drunker than certain other people who were absolutely and very obviously completely shit-faced. I still had a good time, and I had enough to enjoy myself. But yeah, I think you'll have more fun if you can actually remember what happened. Unless it's one of those ones. See, I'm not a big fan of like shots. Like, they just make everything hard work. And they also end up making me want to puke. Like, I could have one shot and my body's like, that feels like poison. Are you sure you don't want to puke? Like, it just... I think there's something about the really cheap shots. I guess it's really cheap alcohol. They're just... My palate has become so refined to nice whiskey that doesn't feel like that, even when you drink like a decent amount. That anything less does kind of feel like it's trying to kill me, which it probably fucking is. If your brother-in-law, was it brother-in-law? If they're like that, I don't know how to help you, apart from maybe surreptitiously chucking them away. But I promise you'll probably have more fun if you're just pretty drunk over completely fucking shit-faced. I don't think it's that fun to get obliterated, especially not as a turning 40 this year person. Like when we go on holiday, we've got drink on tap, but we went we're going for a what do you call it, all inclusive. And we could have spent a little bit more, and then we'd have access to the full bar. But after hearing that, I was like, oh, well, I mean, it's a bit disappointing. And then I was like, well, actually, I kind of want to not want to drink and drink and drink and drink. I prefer the idea of the cheap local wine where I'll have a couple of glasses and then I'll be happy enough.
It's also like the fact that like my mum has gone on a lot of these holiday things.
Oh yeah, your mum gets fucking obliterated.
Yeah, and she doesn't remember anything.
And she's really disappointed every fucking time.
She spends so much money to go on these holidays.
Spends fucking couple of thousand and comes back and goes, can't remember a fucking minute of it.
Yeah, and it's just, what's the point?
I don't remember my wedding. My drink was spiked. We have the movers.
Oh, God.
Oof. And I assume that it was one of your friends who spiked you, which was fucked up of them. Don't spike people. That's not cool. Like, spike yourself if you really must. but leave other people alone. People should know how much they're drinking, or at least have a decent idea. I've been spiked at least once in my life, and it was one of the most unpleasant experiences of it. It was really, really bad.
Man, I wish I could take vacations. Yeah.
Well, it's been 20 years since I've been on any kind of holiday, so I think I've earned the right to go on one.
I can't remember 90% of my childhood, so I get you.
How drunk were you when you were a child?
God.
Don't mix energy drinks and alcohol. Blackout fuel. Yeah, I knew a guy.
Yeah, for a lot of people, when I used to work in pubs and people had that, they got drunk so much faster than they would have otherwise, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's,
and Red Bull.
I don't know if it's the caffeine that's like a catalyst or something. I don't know.
But yeah, although the worst I saw, it was someone who had something like 17 Red Bulls before they got there. I didn't believe them initially. They bought a round, and then I just saw the guy in the corner vibrating. I was like, oh, he probably has had 17 Red Bulls, and we probably need to not serve him anymore. Yeah, I think his mates had to take him away. He hadn't drunk anything, allegedly. He might have had something stupid instead, but, you know, it is what it is. Is there a market for dragon slaying holidays?
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
If you can find any dragons, I'm sure there will be.
There is a dragon though.
Well, Komodo dragon slaying.
No, it's a dragon. Like, it's dead, but I'm sure there's other ones, right? And it covers like all the top of Africa.
Do not reference fucking mod. I can't stop saying that. Mod fossil is so hard for me not to say. There is definitely an instance of me saying mod fossil in one of my mud fossil videos, and I promise you it wasn't an intentional haha, isn't it funny to say it wrong. I just find it so hard to say properly, and I don't know why. Drives me crazy. But yes, do not reference Mud Fossil University to me, you motherfucker. Terrible, awful. Roger the mad bastard. The mad fucking... what's the word I'm looking for? His very high opinion of himself. My goodness, it's wild. Just, I was talking to these people and they ignored me and how dare they? I'm such a genius. And it's like, no, you're fucking not. You're a crazy person. You're actually out of your goddamn mind. And you think you found something that you haven't. But what bugs me about Roger isn't him. I mostly do videos on him to spite his audience because fuck those guys.
Yeah, they're very
persistent.
I was gonna say passionate. To be
nice.
Oh
god, they annoy the piss out of me. Like, I put a couple of comments that they put on me. I get a lot fucking more than that. I only put the ones that I just had seen that day while I was looking for something to work on, and I was like, oh, I should go check out Roger. And they go, oh yeah, he said something fucking stupid, because of course he has. Mud fossils is the stuff comedy nightmares are made of. I mean, that's about right. Man, time is slipping further and further away from me every time, and it scares me because I'm only 23. If your time is already slipping away, all I can think is that you need to start finding unusual things to do.
You need a hobby.
You need to get out of a routine. Because I found that is how time slips away, is that you do the same thing basically every day, or at least week in, week out. Once our kids are old enough to be able to be left to their own devices, we are going to start doing as much weird, interesting shit as we can. Because the last 5 years, since my channel started doing okay, and I wasn't just stressed out all the time from having no fucking money, but I've had to focus on the channel. All of my weeks are very similar. Now, I get to have fun doing what I do for work. I enjoy a lot of what I do, apart from the editing, which drives me fucking crazy. But writing is great fun, and yeah. But it's made the last 5 years go really goddamn fast. Since COVID, time has fucking flown. And it's because yeah, I've actually had a set thing that I do basically week in, week out.
You do have a hobby, it's D&D, but it doesn't align up with your groups. That really sucks, especially if it's something you enjoy doing. But like getting out and walking around nature and just exercising more, it gets your mood up a little bit better. It's not perfect. As somebody who is plagued with depression, like it's not a fix-all thing, but it does help a little bit. Especially if you go for a walk with somebody else and you can just talk about things as you're walking, that helps a lot.
Yeah, that might be it too. I'm super broke. To be honest, when we were broke, that was slower time moving than since we've had a bit of money, because I used to do things to try and make money that were all very different, and I used to find very inexpensive ways to do things that I wanted to do. I had so many computers that were like given to me, and then I would take them apart and do other things with them. And I don't do any of that shit now because I don't have to. And people are less willing to give me stuff for free because I'm not desperately poor. But yeah, on that note, we're going to fuck off, and I'm probably going to go play Kingdom Come Deliverance for the hour that I'll get for probably most of this week until the weekend. But thank you for coming, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.